Thoughts on that this afternoon?
Obviously we've lost the game. I talked a lot pre-match about performance levels improving from week to week and in a good spot, and we knew that it was going to be a tough game today. And the performance is almost irrelevant again when you lose the game. It's about results. We know it's about results. Created numerous chances. I think we dominated the first half completely, but you can't create as many chances and dominate as much as we did and not take the chances. It was the goalkeeper makes 3 or 4 big saves at big times for them as well, so credit to him. I think he was our best player, but if you don't score in these opportunities when you're so on top, you're always leave yourself suspect to them getting an opportunity, and they then took their opportunity, and it gives you a bit of a mountain to climb. I think then the reaction for the boys once we lose the goal was good to get back into the game. Junior takes his goal well, and then when you're on a yellow card, you can't go off the ground again and give the referee a decision to make. And for that moment, then we were up against it from that moment on.
It's obviously frustrating when you miss so many chances, but at the other end, conceding from a set piece and a throw-in must be really frustrating as well.
Yeah, 2 set pieces. I think actually in reflection, I think nearly every shot they had in the second half, I think it was 4 or 5 in the second half, all came as a result of a set piece. Which in some situations is unprofessional if it's just not doing your job, whether it be not tracking your man or not showing that desire to make sure your opponent doesn't get in front of you, or a simple by switching off in these moments. These are big moments in the game. We knew that going into the game. I don't know exactly the number, but at least 40% of Motherwell's goals have came for set pieces, as it is every week in this league. You know, been in the league long enough to know that set pieces are huge at every level, but very much so in Scottish football. Motherwell carry a huge threat with that. We've worked on it all week. We're aware of the challenges, the challenges they face with it, but we didn't defend them well enough.
Is the red card more frustrating given how the first yellow came about?
Well, probably not. Well, yes, because of the fact that there's not really been. He's on a yellow. The situation here is he can't do what he does in the second half, being on a yellow card, regardless of what you get for the first one for, whether he's looking for it, whether it's contact. That's all debatable. The issue is when you're on a yellow card, you can't do what you do in the second half. You can't leave the ground. You can't jump into a tackle like that, especially in that situation in the pitch. It wasn't going anywhere, and from that moment, then it's definitely cost us.
You've done a lot of work with these players on trying to solve these issues. Are you at the stage, do you give up on these players and move on to somebody else? Do you drop players out of the situation?
No, you certainly don't give up on anybody, not at all. It's a collective. We win or we lose altogether. When you look at, again, the goals we've lost today, it was switching off at set pieces. It was obviously where we need to improve. We know we've created enough chances, clear-cut chances, the goalkeeper, the big moments in the game, and I think had we took the chances in the first half for the level of dominance we had, today's a very different afternoon, and we're sitting here talking about how good the squad's been and the things I talked about pre-match and all the improvements we've seen. The reality of the situation is though that we've not got enough points or good enough results for the level that we're at the moment, and we know where we need to improve. And now we've got 2 weeks in this international break to think about all the areas in which we do need to improve and work as hard as we can to make sure we get that right. And that's not just one person; that's everybody all together.
Nectar hold his hands up in the dressing room afterwards.
Yeah. Naturally, I think he knows he's made the mistake. I think you know that straight away, but it doesn't change anything. I think that's just one of these. He needs to learn from it. You can't, as I've already touched on, and when you're on a yellow card, you can't go to ground, especially not in that situation. I understand it if you're the last man and you're trying your best to stop a clear, obvious goal-scoring opportunity. But in that situation, it's just a lack of discipline and out of character for him, to be honest. But at the same time, he needs to learn from that, and we certainly can't accept that.
Fair to say that took the wind out yourselves in terms of being delicately poised up to that point.
Yeah, I think so. I think, especially to lose the goal when we did, but to then get back into it at that point. Once you've got back to 1-1, then you're at home, the momentum starts to build again, and you think, right, can we go on and win the game? That definitely stops you. Then you go down to 10 men and to lose the goal straight off the back of that 3 minutes after that. You've then got a mountain to climb after that. So, listen, I think on reflection we'll look at it and we'll look at where we can improve, but it's clear the results need to improve. That's the ultimate that comes out of today, regardless of performance and individuals. It's all about the results around.
So we got a long international break for you now, just desperate for that next game to come around.
Yep, it does. It makes it probably feel a lot longer, but it does give us time to make sure we put these right, because as I've just touched on there, I can talk about individuals and performances in areas where we need to improve. We need to start winning games of football and quickly. That's the thing, we know that. Where this club needs to be and where we believe we should be, we've not got enough points on the board, that's for sure.
See, as a coach though, David, what do you do about a lack of discipline and experienced players? Not just the sending off, but the nature of the first goal, probably the nature of the second as well. There's not much you can do about that, is there?
Well, I think first of all you look at the setup, and is the setup right? Have we gave the players enough information? And then in that situation, it's up to the players to then carry through the job. Now, if, as I've already touched on, if you've been asked to do a job, you need to do the job as best you can. You need to make sure you stay goal side and you do everything you possibly can to defend the goal. That's the fundamentals of football, the basics of football. And if we can't do the basics of football, it's going to be a long afternoon at times. And I think that's clear where we need to improve from that point of view. But it's not as if that's been a big issue in the previous weeks. It's in these moments we need to be on red alert to make sure that we're not giving up opportunities from them.
If they're not doing the basics, do you take them out of the team?
If you can't do the basics, then we'll never be successful. So there's players waiting, ready to come all the time. I think you were asked a question earlier about do you give up on players. You never give up on anyone. My job's to try and make every single player better, and I'll continue to do that as best I can every single day. But my job is also to try and get a winning formula on the football pitch, and I know I need to do that and find a way to do it as quickly as I can.
The missed chances as well, David, that you're talking about. How do you tackle that as a coach? Because it comes down to sort of individuals in the moment, doesn't it?
Yeah, listen, it's hard to reenact that game situation, but you try and just practice as much as you can. I would be much more concerned if you weren't creating any chances at all, but they're big moments and big games, big times in the game, and we know, I keep saying the same thing, but know that they're big chances at big times, and I think we need to, it's a confidence thing as well. You know, I think even Miko's, when you see in the first half, it's a good save for the goalkeeper, but a bit more, I don't know, a bit more conviction in that moment with his header, and the goalkeeper shouldn't have the opportunity to save that. He knows that, disappointed with it, but we just need to keep working as hard as we can to improve on it.
Thanks, David.
Cheers.